Alright, so I'm making this video just because it's been sitting on my mind for a little bit, and I figured I want to get it off my chest, off my mind, and put it out there and see what people think. So, what I am doing today is a little tier list of the Alien franchise. I recently saw Romulus, and I've listened to quite a few different reviews from different YouTube channels, and what it seems to be consistently is that Romulus is kind of in everybody's top area. Everyone kind of agrees in the placement of each movie for the most part, which is very cool because I don't feel like I see that a lot with other movie franchises. So I figured I'd give my take on it. A lot of people might not be too thrilled with what I've chose, but I'll just kind of give you a rundown very briefly of why I'm choosing the ones I chose. So it's called Alien. You know what it's referencing, it's an alien. I'm just, playing with the words. So obviously the first movie in the run, Alien, it's a classic by everyone's standard. It's not something that needs to be debated. It's an S+ movie. I'm going to cut some of this off. And you might be wondering, why aren't you using the tier list website? Well, I didn't want to. That's pretty much it. I wanted to just kind of throw one together. I'll probably use the tier list thing if I do this ever again, and I probably will. So Alien, no brainer. Alien 2, this is where things get a little dicey. A lot of people love this movie as much, if not more, than the first one. It was okay. It's a good movie. For me personally, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, it was fine, but I don't really like the going from the horror to this like campy shooting up monsters and very Michael Bay-ish, and I'm good on that. Still a great movie, so I'll stick it in A, but Aliens 2 just wasn't for me. I think her being the role of a mother that's motivating her to attack the aliens is good. I thought the introduction of a queen was really cool, and I know that's not something that's very commonplace anymore in these movies. They get really like out there, very gaudy, philosophical, whatever. But Alien 2 is a fine movie. I thought it was good. It's just not for me personally. Alien 1 is still way better to me, by far. So Alien 3, I don't remember Alien 3 extremely well. It's been a while since I've watched this movie. I remember it was something to do with the prison, and she had an alien in her stomach, and I remember she kills herself, and I'm pretty sure she had a shaved head in this movie, but I don't remember. It might be the other movie. It was fine. This is where things started taking it downhill, and this entire series has pretty much done this. It had decent characters, I guess. No one's really memorable. There was the one black dude with the glasses. I guess he stood out aside from Ripley. Not much more I can really say on this particular movie. It wasn't great. I didn't really like it. I thought the ending was super corny. I remember her jumping in the fire to kill herself. I thought that looked weird. I don't know if they were going for a certain kind of imagery. The way they shot her going into it, it wasn't a good movie. I put Alien 3 in the C. It's not something I would ever really want to watch again. Unless somebody was like really dying to watch it, then I guess. But Alien 3 is just very uninteresting. So next on the list, we got Prometheus. Prometheus, strange movie. A new take, right? This is trying to explain the beginning and the origin story of Alien. And they're taking us on this journey with these new weird aliens, these engineers, who are the creators of humans, supposedly. And personally, it's a fine movie, but I'm going to see Alien because I want to see stuff with the alien. I get it, it's an origin, and that's not really the focus, hardcore, because you got these dudes, and you only get the deacon at the end of it, which is kind of whatever. It's fine. Some of the characters make really stupid decisions, but I will say, at this point in Prometheus, what I was noticing when this initially came out, I was like, man, Alien was really good with the robot. And then Prometheus just pushes it even further, like, okay, this David figure, they're really sticking. This dude's good. I don't know the actor, I know he's a big name, but the aliens seem more, not the aliens, the androids seem more interesting than anyone else in the movie, including the aliens sometimes. The true villain of these movies. So just on that basis, I'll put Prometheus in B. I think the alien, I think the android really pushed that movie forward for me a lot. Even though it's not great, it's fine. It's an okay movie. It's not something like, it's okay. It's better than Alien 3. It's obviously not as good as Alien 1 or 2. It's fine. Next on the list is Alien Covenant. So this movie has a deep-rooted history with me, and I'm going to explain why. When this initially came out, I went to the theater with someone who I worked with at the time, because he was hardcore, like, yeah, I love aliens. I was like, alright, a lot of the movies ain't been too hot recently, but I'll watch it, sure. I didn't like Prometheus. I think I was just catching into him because my brother introduced me to Alien. So I was like, 1's great, 2's pretty good, 3 was really downhill, and so now we're at Covenant. So I wasn't super energized to see it because the trailers also look terrible too. So we watched the movie. He watches the movie because I ultimately fall asleep. That movie, a thing with me is if a movie is really bad, I fall asleep in the theater. No matter how much noise there is or whatever, somebody pushing me, poking me. If it's a bad movie, I am asleep. So I slept through that movie. I woke up and he's like, man, can you believe what happened? I said, yeah, that's crazy. I lied. So then a few days prior from this video, I tried watching it again. I might have got a little bit further, fell asleep again. I'm like, man, this movie's pacing is ass. This movie is terrible. Why can I not make it through this movie? This is crazy. So I tried for one more time, this third try. I was like, I got to sit through this. There's no way I'm not going to make it through this movie. I can't judge it if I have not fully seen it. I know people don't like it. I got to give it a fair shake. Finally sit through it. Very uninteresting. Way worse than Prometheus. The story was useless. The aliens were unnecessarily just pushed in the movie. I didn't like the CG. I want some more practical effects with the aliens specifically. The only outlier to this movie, again, was the android. David was the most interesting part of this movie. Walter, I'm in and out about that. He was fine, but the characters' motivations and the intelligence of them, they do some really stupid stuff in this movie. Alien Covenant is not a good movie. I don't know how the dude I saw the movie with initially, I don't know how he liked it. This movie sucks. And now I see why I fell asleep twice trying to watch this piece of crap. So for me, Alien Covenant is an easy F. Don't even want to see the rest of the Aliens too. That movie was trash. But now, the reason that this video was even made, drum roll, Alien Romulus. I was super excited to see it because of the trailer. I was very impressed with that. I was like, cool, it looks like they're going to go back to horror. They're really focused on the fear of it. It's not going to be an action movie. It's not going to be super, like Prometheus was, where it's really high brain. You got to be really in depth and look beyond the gods and I don't need all that. I just want a good movie. It's fun. You get to the point, A to B. This movie was simple. This movie was good. I understand that there's a lot of references from prior movies. So if you're not as familiar with the details of each individual movie that came before this, I think you'll enjoy it a lot more because you're not as drawn in, like you don't catch it. So it doesn't ruin the movie for you. Whereas if you're very familiar with the other films, you're gonna be like, oh man, they did that thing. Oh man, they did that scene. Oh, they recreated this part. So it gets a little rough sometimes, and sometimes it is really cool. But Alien Romulus, I was super excited for, which is very uncommon with alien movies, considering how trash Covenant was and how just kind of middle of the road Prometheus was. I enjoyed Alien Romulus a lot. And what I've been noticing is that people have Romulus now as the top 3, which isn't, it's not hard to do. But what I've seen a lot is it's either Aliens, Romulus, Alien, Romulus. It's generally been kind of that, right? For me personally, and this is probably going to catch a ton of heat from certain people who might try to argue for it. I get it. But I enjoyed it so much that for me, my rule would be it's Alien, then it's Romulus, then it's Aliens. And then you got to remember, I'm a younger person. I wasn't around when the first 2 movies came out, or at least I wasn't watching them. I definitely wasn't watching 2. I have to check what year that came out, but I was too young. I couldn't really appreciate these films for what they were. If I was an older guy, I'm sure it wouldn't be that. It probably would be Aliens, Romulus. But for me, Alien, Romulus, Aliens. That's not to take away from Aliens 2. I know it's a good movie to a lot of people. Just for me, that's not the kind of thing I want. I'm trying to get scared. I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want to be like, man, what's around the corner? It was just too hokey for me. It's too much action and goofy. It's still a good movie. It's just not what I want when I'm looking for an alien film. So this is my lineup. I don't think my list, aside from Aliens, I don't think my list is that much different from a lot of people's levels. You might notice there's a movie missing off this list, and that's because I'm not even going to participate in that. That doesn't exist. So this is every movie. We're not counting the one that shouldn't be named. Based on how Romulus ended, I'm excited. I'm hopeful for whatever the next film they make. I hope it's the same guy behind it. And I can't forget, the standout character again is the android. The Andy character is insanely impressive. I really like the arcs he took, and I don't want to spoil it if no one's seen it, but that character is the most in-depth character in that movie, which again is not saying much compared to the rest of the cast who are just kind of there to get off. But man, I like his character a lot. He's by far my favorite robot android of all the other androids, hands down. Great movie. I cannot wait to get my hands on a Blu-ray when it comes out. Really big fan of that. Really enjoyed it. I might even go see it again before it's out of theaters. But Alien, Romulus, Aliens, Prometheus, Alien 3, and then Covenant. I know Ridley ain't got too much longer on Earth. It's okay to pass it off to people who really know what they're doing, man. And, learn to accept the Queen. I know that's not the angle you wanted, but the Queen Alien's a cool idea. Unless you can do something that's far more interesting, I guess, or more logical. I love Alien. I'm not as big on Predator, but Predator's cool too. I may make a list of that, but I need to rewatch 2, and then a few of the newer ones. I remember The Predator, I think that was not good, but maybe I'll get to that. I just really want to do Alien because I really enjoyed Romulus. I still know I'm going to catch heat for why I put Aliens. That's fine. This is what I like. This is my lineup. And we'll see what comes next. So Hope you enjoyed that.